In this question, we are given a multiplication table where each letter represents an integer. We have to find the value of C. Now, in the exam, when you get a multiplication table like this, what you should do is draw the table on the sheet of paper that you have. Now, in step 1, we have that D is the product of A times A. That is, the value of D is equal to A squared. Similarly, E is the product of AB and F is the product of AC. We can see that the table is symmetric. So we have H is equal to BC and we can copy the values here. Now, let's move on to step 2 and analyze statement 1. In statement 1, we have that C is equal to F. From the table, we can see that the value of F is equal to AC. Now, when we substitute the value of F here, we get C is equal to A times A. Now, there is one mistake that many of you might end up making here, which is dividing both sides by C and getting the value of A as 1. Now, this process is incorrect, as in the question, we are just told that each letter is an integer. That means that the integers can either be positive, negative, or 0. So what if the value of C is equal to 0? Is it possible to perform this, to divide this equation by C? Because when C is equal to 0, on dividing this equation by 0, we will get an undefined answer. So what can be done here is that when we have the equation C is equal to AC, we can take it as C minus A times C equal to 0. Taking C common, we get 1 minus A equals to 0. Now from this equation, we can infer that either the value of C is equal to 0 or 1 minus A equal to 0, which means that the value of A is 1. Now, from this statement also, we cannot infer that value of C will definitely be 0, because the product of two numbers can be 0 when either one of them is 0 or both of them are 0. But here the value of 1 minus A can also be equal to 0. So we are not sure if the value of C is 0 or not. Hence we conclude that statement 1 is insufficient, and from the given options, we eliminate A and D. Now, in step 2, we have that the value of H is not equal to 0. Using this, we can write that the value of H, which is equal to BC, which we can get from the table, is not equal to 0. From this, we can infer that B is not equal to 0 and C is not equal to 0. But again, we are not able to find the value of C from statement 2. So, statement 2 is also insufficient. Now, in step 3, when we combine both the statements together, from statement 1, we have that this value of C can either be equal to 0 or A can be equal to 1. And from statement 2, we have that C is not equal to 0. After combining these two statements, we can only infer that the value of A will be equal to 1. But the question requires in the question we have to find the value of C. So the statements together are insufficient and the correct answer is option E.